Hey everybody, thanks so much for teaching SED 104. I just had a meeting this morning with the Gen Ed 6 folks. SED 104 is a Gen Ed 6 class, which means that students can take SED 104 as one of their Gen Ed 6 requirements. So we have some students who are education majors and some students who are not. But part of the requirements for being a Gen Ed 6 class is that we have to complete a rubric, an assignment in every Gen Ed 6 class that meets the requirements for this magic rubric. And some of you who have taught for us for multiple years remember filling out those Gen Ed 6 rubrics, and we took a little break from that while the rubric was updated, but we now have an updated rubric, and so we need to complete that on one of our assignments. So I'm going to walk you through what we need to do for that, and we'll need to do that in this semester. The first thing I want to point out, though, is that the Gen Ed 6 requirement means that students have to talk about how their learning has impacted their understanding of diverse perspectives. So it has to, the assignment has to reflect back on an assignment and course readings that students have done. So the readings that we're going to be referencing specifically in SED 104 on the assignment we're using is in Module 1, and it's something that Dusty uploaded for us. And it's called this Framework for Disability. Your content is going to look slightly different. I just updated this in the spring template, so we'll see it in the summer and fall uploads for your course shells. In your current module, it might look a little bit different, but the document is still there, and it's called Framework for Disability. And if you click on that PDF, I just closed mine out. Let me open that back up again. Dusty has hyperlinked in for us several articles on person first language and inclusion. She also has the white privilege and invisible knapsack articles and some activities that students can complete. So you definitely want students to understand this from Module 1, and if you didn't get a chance to review this fully with your students, I continued to review these articles throughout the semester with students just to make sure they really have a clear understanding. So that's the first thing, is make sure from Module 1 that you're really referencing those articles and letting students know they need to hang on to them. And they'll need to directly reference those in the assignment for our Gen Ed 6. The article that we're using is this virtual observation report assignment. They do 2 different virtual observations, so that is the same. I did go ahead, and again, yours is going to look slightly different because I just completed these updates. So you have a doc that's in yours that I removed that and instead put it in a Google Doc. In the past, we had students complete a scoring guide. We kind of faded that out, so we didn't have it in the fall. I didn't put it back in the spring. If you want to use a scoring guide, you're welcome to include that, but I took out reference to it since it was no longer in the module. I went ahead and updated the directions and the template because the guidance I got when I met with the Gen Ed 6 people is that the assignment description itself has to clearly talk about how students need to reflect on the readings. So I went in and updated the template. We'll look at that in just one second. I updated the assignment guidelines. So these should be updated in your shells right now because these were always a Google Doc. So what I did was really increase in this first paragraph the description about the fact that they need to review articles on person first language. The original assignment description just talked about the virtual observation. And then I added the information that they need to apply what they've learned in the articles to what they were seeing in the observation. I hyperlinked in that Framework for Disability PDF so that we didn't have to go backwards to look at it. It's hyperlinked in there. And then I also went ahead and hyperlinked in the observation template. I also clarified further down here information about the use of people first language, and then also clarified down here in the bullet points that they had to discuss their beliefs based on the course readings. Then in the template itself, I went ahead and updated under the professionals role the fact that they need to discuss what they've learned in the readings and their future role, referring to the textbook. And then I did give them a short example of what a sentence might look like. So you'll want to make sure when you're describing this assignment to students that you're really honing in on the fact that the assignment not only needs to reflect on what they saw, but what they've read so far and how those two things come together. Did what they see match what they've read? Have they changed their views based on what they've read and what they've seen? And we really want that deeper understanding in this assignment. So after students complete the assignment, the good news for this rubric, and this has always been at the bottom of the virtual observations, it just had the old rubric. So I put the new rubric in here, and again, yours is not going to be updated, but I'll include it with this link, the new rubric. But from the semester on, you'll see this updated rubric. So the directions that we've been given is this. Because we have so many sections of SED 104, we only have to randomly select 5 students in each section in each semester. So for this semester, please randomly select 5 students. You can choose to randomly select 5 students from from just one of these assignments, or you can select 3 from here, 2 from here, whatever you want to do, as long as you randomly select 5 different students, and you're going to score them using this rubric. So probably for this semester, if you'll go ahead and print this rubric out, score it, and then upload it back into a PDF. If you can put all 5 in one PDF, that would be super helpful for me, because then I have to take everybody's and compile them into a master report. But I need those by the 10th week of the semester so that I can analyze the data and put it in a report. So if you've got any questions as you start rolling, please let me know. But what you're going to do is print the rubric out, and then you're going to score the student on each of the rows that are here. So looking at if a student is displaying any kind of awareness of diverse perspectives, and we can either look at their cultural or historically marginalized group, which applies to students with disabilities, how well they're able to integrate their knowledge into the assignment, if their expression of ideas is clear or not clear, and if they seem to have any kind of comprehension and understanding as they've articulated in the paper. So there's a second page to the rubric, which talks about significance. So are they just demonstrating that they've got some kind of awareness of the complexity of that diverse perspective, and how does that look? So for some of us, our students do a really good job of this. Some of us, our students are not currently doing a good job. The directions that I was given was this first semester, we'll look at how our students did without any additional changes to the assignment. And if we feel like, for example, this role on significance, we haven't emphasized this in the assignment, so students aren't meeting this row, then we'll make some modifications to the assignment. But for this semester, we won't do any other tweaking to the assignment, just score based on those 5 randomly selected students, and then we'll do some data analysis, and then we'll have a follow-up discussion, probably as part of our IRR for the fall semester. Thank you guys again for all that you do. If you've got any questions, holler at me. Otherwise, please continue to give me updates for any links that don't work. Oh, one more thing. We just got notice recently that our textbook is going to be changing and updating. It has a lesser cost, and it's supposed to be a more synthesized, easy read. So if you want a preview copy of that, please let me know, or you can go to the Pearson website, and all you need to do is request your own desk copy of this, and they will send it to you for free. So I've already sent it on to Vicki. If anybody else wants a copy, let me know, and I'll forward this email to you too, so you can request your copy. All right, I think that's all the updates for today. Hope you're having a great week. Talk to you later.